Hello again. Once again, and not for the first time lately, I find myself thinking about George Orwell's 1984. Of course, we're all of us familiar with the idea of thought crime and so on, especially these days. But it is Newspeak, the strange version of English which is being designed to replace the English which we speak now, which is really fascinating. Let me just read out a couple of sentences. The whole aim of Newspeak is to narrow the range of thought. In the end, we shall make thought crime literally impossible because there will be no words in which to express it. And then looking now at the appendix, which is about the principles of Newspeak, we read the following. The purpose of Newspeak was not only to provide a medium of expression for the worldview and mental habits proper to the devotees of Ingsoc, that's English socialism, but to make all other modes of thought impossible. It was intended that when Newspeak had been adopted once and for all and Old Speak forgotten, a heretical thought, that is a thought diverging from the principles of Ingsoc, should be literally unthinkable, at least so far as thought is dependent on words. In other words, the aim was to alter language so that the wrong sort of thoughts could not even be expressed. This is essentially what is happening today in some ways. I wonder if this is reminding anybody of some of the trends that we're witnessing at the moment. We're all of us, we've seen words being made literally unspeakable. There's things like the N word and various other words that we cannot speak out loud and that most of us dare not even think. There are words which for purely ideological reasons I couldn't say out loud here without having this channel removed. Just think about what we coyly refer to as the N word for a moment. I've never used this word in the whole course of my life, but it is irksome to know that I couldn't even read aloud from classic works of literature, such as Three Men in a Boat, or To Kill a Mockingbird, or Brideshead Revisited, because they would cause me to be banned on YouTube. This is a very weird approach to language. What has any of this to do with engineering, you ask, which is the title to this video? Engineering is now in the front line of the war on the English language, which is a bit strange. Let's start with a common and innocuous enough word, master. In English, master was used well into the 20th century as a synonym for employer or boss. In Dickens' novel Hard Times, chapter 5 is called Men and Masters. It simply refers to the workers and their employers. In this context, master, meaning employer or landlord, was used within living memory. I certainly remember men talking about their master. In engineering, master is used to designate something which controls something else, but there's a frantic search underway now to replace the word master with another word, perhaps primary or main instead. The problem is, you can have things like master and slave clocks, where one main clock controls others, say, and this apparently is triggering for black people. As a result, the very word master in engineering is now frowned upon. I'm bound to say that this strikes me as misplaced delicacy. I myself come from thoroughly working class stock, and for as many generations as I have traced my ancestry, I find nothing but blacksmiths, labourers, factory hands and charwomen. All would have referred to their boss as master. If I don't take offence at this or start sobbing, I'm not sure why others should do so. Inevitably, perhaps blacklist is also in the sights of those determined to change the way they speak and think in engineering. It's proposed that it should be replaced by the clumsy and incomprehensible newly coined word deny list. We all know, of course, what is meant by a blacklist, but I would be prepared to wager a good sum of money that few people have the remotest idea what a deny list might be. If the purpose of language is to communicate meaning to others, then ridding English of an easily understood expression and replacing it with one of which nobody has ever heard seems an odd thing to do. There's irritation among some older engineers about this, and it certainly does seem like something from 1984, a way to make sure that the language is changed to avoid even the possibility of the wrong kind of thought.